Hello, and welcome to Future Lag Fighter 3D. That's exactly what I consider this game and Infinite Warfare to be. I don't consider them to be Call of Duty, necessarily. To be honest, looking back, the last game that felt to me like legit Call of Duty was probably Modern Warfare 3, even with all of its problems and issues. Especially the hackers and whatnot, some of the trolley-ass class setup stuff that they gave us. But Ghost was close, I guess. But with the terrible map design and the horrible perk system and score streaks, among other issues, the multiplayer didn't feel very Call of Duty either. So yeah, after playing games like Call of Duty 2, you know, World at War, Black Ops 1 and 2, and the Modern Warfare series, like, these newer Call of Duties just, they don't match up. They don't cut the mustard. They're just not, I mean, on top of not really being Call of Duty games, they're not, for the most part, they're not good games in general. I mean, I could deal with the specialist setup in Modern Warfare 3, because for that specialist system to work, you had to keep killing. You had to keep getting kills to progress through it. I mean, even that system in itself had some issues, but I would take that over this specialist setup that we have in these games today anytime, because this one you don't have to do anything and you'll earn you know, what could be considered score streaks. You know, so I don't know. It's gotten to that point, you know, months ago or whatever. I was pissed at all the bullshit in these games, but I think I just couldn't convince myself to stop thinking of these as Call of Duty, because that's the name on the box. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, when clearly Black Ops 3, it's the bastard child of the series. It's got really nothing to do with Black Ops 1 and 2, and has taken took the series in a horrible direction. I mean, the story itself, it sucked ass. It was like a drunk version of Inception, and didn't really tie into the Black Ops 1 or 2 stories at all. So, you know, I don't really know what they were thinking. It's almost like maybe they didn't want to make Black Ops 3, but they felt forced into doing it, and were like, screw it, we'll just make it as silly and idiotic as we can. Well, if that was their goal, then objective accomplished. I mean, it's a 100% true statement that there's never been a Call of Duty game with more ridiculous weapons and annoying setup options than Black Ops 3. I mean, between the haymaker, the different types of weapons that are annoying in of themselves, you have all these melee weapons. You have all these new, stupid, just ridiculous weapons to use, and then obviously with the introduction of the dabbing and dumbass taunts and whatnot, it's just a recipe for disaster if you're a fan of classic Call of Duty. Now, you know, I think Infinite Warfare's saving grace was its campaign. I'll admit I didn't play through the whole thing because I just got disinterested over time. But it did feel more like Call of Duty. It had a military-based story, and it made, you know, sense and all that stuff. So the campaign was, I think, much better than the multiplayer. As far as Black Ops 3 single player, I already mentioned that. I thought the story was ridiculous and idiotic. Advanced Warfare, that game also kind of falls into the same category, I feel like, as these two. The single player may have been halfway okay. I don't really remember it so much. I know in the multiplayer, I wasn't a fan of their movement system. The way that the boost jumping and dodging worked in that game, I just didn't really like it that much. And then their netcode, the lobby code was too strict. It was skill-based pretty much only. So once you got to a certain prestige and certain skill level, you could never find matches. It got to a point where I really just couldn't find matches anymore. And I tested it by creating a new account, or starting fresh or something. Anyway, I was able to test it from level 0 and found that I was able to find matches easy as hell. So it definitely was a matchmaking issue. So yeah, I'm clearly excited about WW2. Hopefully it kind of takes things back to where they began. The only problem, obviously, would be if they start introducing a ton of silly and stupid crap. You know, you want to talk about immersion. I just want to feel like I'm playing a Call of Duty, you know, World War II type game. If they start adding too much silly crap, it's going to make it feel just like this crap all over again, which is garbage. So, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but yeah, theater mode cut this match short. Yay, theater mode! One of the many fails that Black Ops 3 has presented to the community. In the background, I obviously am using a silly class. Pink Haymaker, a Ripper, and yeah, the score streaks are pretty typical, I guess, just care package, sentry, and UAV, but basically the point is with this game I've just stopped caring. I really don't care anymore. All the gripes and complaints about the things people were using before, it's all out the window. I mean, at this point, nothing shocks me, nothing surprises me, and it's not Call of Duty. As I said, it's Future Lag Fighter 3D. If they'd named it that, it would have made more sense. I would have respected the game more because it wouldn't have had the Call of Duty title, and with that title, expectations and assumptions, which they didn't follow through on, and they haven't for quite some time. So yeah, just screwing around, having some fun, playing some matches with Tank. Pretty straightforward, and honestly, this is how it's going to be for the rest of the time that I play this game. I don't really care about trying to use specific guns or avoid certain things to, you know, try and be respectful to the lobbies, because, dude, every lobby you get into, there's haymakers, there's boxing gloves, there's rippers, you know, it's whatever. It's honestly just whatever at this point. There's no way to avoid it, so it's kind of one of those can't beat them then join them type situations. Like, why struggle with your own, you know, well, I'm not going to play with this, or I'm not going to play with that. Meanwhile, you're getting destroyed by it constantly. Like, fuck it, just use it. Who cares? It's a stupid game. Literally. Stupid game. So, get stupid. Just play dumb. Who cares? You know, it is what it is. We'll have another Call of Duty coming out here in a few months, hopefully, and maybe even get a chance at playing a beta on PC. We'll see about that. Time will tell. But yeah, that's all I really had to say. Honestly, I mean, a couple of good matches coming up that I wanted to post. Some really close dom matches and whatnot, but this is one that's an idea I've been tossing around for a bit, and figured I'd go ahead and throw it together and just basically let everyone know how I'm feeling, because if you see more gameplays of me using the silly setups and whatever, it's because I don't give a shit. So anyway, I could keep rambling, but if you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.